Welcome to our first episode of Beauty Gains, a No Any Sleeves production. My name is Courtney Gilroy, and some of you guys may know me as Talk Girly to Me, and I'm your go-to girl for everything beauty.
And my name is Jess, and I'm going to be here for your fitness.
So why don't we start off with everybody trying to get to know us, and let's just ask each other a couple questions.
All right, we're going to speed date for you guys. It's like if you were on a speed date with me and Courtney, but we're going to do it for you.
Love it.
All right, Courtney, what's your favorite workout music?
Honestly, it really just depends on the mood that I'm in that day. Like, I can listen to any genre. Like, I like rap, I like country, I like oldies. I really could listen to anything.
Weren't you just telling me a story earlier when you were maybe rapping some Eminem?
Guys, I love Eminem. Like, absolutely love him. So, this one time, I was at a party. And honestly, this is just my personality once people get to know me, and there was a DJ there, and I took the microphone, I stood up on a table, and I rapped Eminem.
Do you remember what song you were rapping?
It was Till I Collapse. And to this day, whoever is at that party and if they see me, they always crack up about it.
Alright.
Alright, so what sports did you play growing up?
I played so many sports, to be honest. It was like when you were little and your parents just put you into literally everything. Mm-hmm. My mom tried to put me into dance, my mom tried to put me into cheerleading, my mom tried to put me into gymnastics, and I didn't like any of it. So then I started doing martial arts when I was young, probably like 8. School, I played field hockey, and then I played field hockey in college, and then I coached it. I played softball, I rode in crew, I snowboarded. Awesome. Just every single little sport that
I tried snowboarding once, and I probably needed physical therapy afterwards, to be honest.
Because that's where it all came from.
Yeah, I might have started there. I'm not really sure.
All right. So now that we know that you are our go-to beauty girl, yes, why don't you talk to me about your favorite makeup applications?
All right, my favorite makeup applications. If I'm like running out the door, like a quick one, I will honestly do my face first. Then I'll take whatever I contoured myself with, like the powder, I'll put it on my crease, put a little highlighter in my inner corner, mascara, lashes, I'm good to go. This is a whole different world for her. When she talks about fitness to me, I'm like,
We have come to terms with the fact that me and Courtney are very different parts of the spectrum, and I think that's the part of us coming in together for you guys is going to be the fact that I know that I'm all fitness, I've been a tomboy forever, and Courtney is like so good about her beauty and her skincare and everything like that. Today, before we were coming here, I did not do this to myself. I did not put these lashes on, this makeup on, any of this. So we were on our way over here, and I texted Courtney if I needed to grab anything, and she forgot eyeliner. So she sent me a picture of eyeliner, and I'm in CVS. I'm looking at the brand name, and I can't even find it. And
I literally sent a picture too of it. And she goes, "Is this it?" I'm like, "Just get it." Yeah, that's it.
She's like, "No, it's not it." And I'm like, I
have no idea. I'm like, "We'll make it work. Not a big deal. Totally fine." But my go-to glam for like going out too, you can't go wrong with a smoky eye.
Okay.
Love a smoky eye.
That's the go.
That's the go-to glam and a nice highlighter. And
do I have a smoky eye?
You have a little bit of a smoky eye. I went more natural with you.
Okay. Would have no idea.
All right. Next question. How do you track your fitness goals?
So with fitness goals for me, I think since being in fitness for so long, and my goals change all the time, and especially with lifting and with jiu-jitsu and things like that. Like tracking them, I would say like I don't write things down per se to track them. Again, if it has to do with me doing like a photo shoot or me cutting weight, then obviously I have to like step on the scale and figure that out, figure out like body percentage and things like that. But to be honest, like in the most recent years, I stopped cutting weight for tournaments, so I didn't really need to worry about that anymore. And my goals have become less like body fat percentage goals and more like how much I'm lifting goals. So just writing down my programs and writing things down like that, that's pretty much just how I track it. It's just whatever weight I'm using, whatever PRs I'm hitting, I have those written down, but I used to, again, keep like super close track on my body fat percentage and like my weight and things. It's just not important to me anymore.
Yeah, so. I honestly, like, the more I started working out, I stopped looking at myself like on a scale. Like, I really don't even weigh myself. I'll just like look in the mirror and be like, all right, I gotta work on this, I gotta work on that. That's what I want, because I found that when I was stepping on a scale, like, I would get more muscle, but then like my weight would be up and I'd get discouraged. And I'm like, oh my God, but I used to be this. And then I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, let's just look in the mirror, be happy with that, and figure it out from there. So like that's, I feel like, what I usually do.
And with that, that's another topic that we're probably going to talk about later on once we get going. But it's the number on the scale majority of the time is your like biggest enemy, because it doesn't always portray really what's going on for you. So how clothes fit, how you look in pictures. So if I look at pictures from when I first started like actually lifting like 6-7 years ago, I'm like a toothpick, and back then, like, you think that you're in shape, and then now how you see yourself after years and years of doing all this, it's just completely different. So I always tell people that I'm training, like, body measurements or pictures are a huge way for you to realize that there is progress, because you look at yourself every single day.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's always that for me. All right, if you were not a cosmetologist, what would you want to be?
I actually wanted to be a therapist.
Like a brain therapist or like a physical therapist?
Like brain therapist. Like,
I don't think that's a term for it, but that's fine.
You know, like sit down therapy, we talk. Like, when I was a freshman in high school, I always loved like beauty and all of that, and I always loved helping people. So I realized that when I would like play around with my friends' hair and makeup, like we'd go to like Sweet 16 parties, like whatever, I'd practice, like I always like loved the feeling of like how they looked at themselves like after. Like I wasn't as good as I am right now back then, but even just seeing their face and like reaction of like them being so happy, and like even while I'm doing makeup and stuff, like I just like, we just talk about everything, and I feel like it's just a therapy. And honestly, I was never good at school. Like, when I was in high school, I knew, like, sophomore year, I'm like, I'm honestly not going to college. I told my parents, I was like, listen, like, my sister went to college, like, graduated, like, high honors, and I'm like, it's not for me. I don't want to waste your money. I'd rather go to beauty school. I'll get into my career right away. And I knew eventually I was going to work for myself at some point, and I just figured, if you really want to do something, you can 100% do it. And I think college is great and all that, like, educate yourself for sure, but it wasn't my path. And I honestly just knew right off the bat that, like, I want to not only, like, make people, like, feel good after, like, hanging out with me and talking. Like, you could ask all my friends, I'm that friend that everybody calls to talk to. Like, I'll be on the phone with my friends for 2 hours if they need me to, like, and I wanted to go beyond that. And I love being able to make somebody feel good about themselves. Like, as soon as I'm done with their makeup or giving them a tan, like, just being the reason behind their smile and why they feel so good, like, walking out the door, like, that was enough for me, and that's really what got me into it.
And I think later on in this episode, we're really going to hit for you guys just why me and Courtney, with so different spectrum of, like, professions, why we were brought together in order to help you guys, because we're part of like the No Windy Sleeves branch, right? So you see all the boys and they're like growing out and they're talking about 1% better every day. And I think that me and Courtney are brought together because we both bring something different to the table, but at the end of the day, we're still trying to help people get better at whatever they're trying to get better at. So if like feeling better about yourself comes from like you getting a nice blowout or you putting some makeup on and you feel good about yourself after that. And then for me, it's people like changing their lives, fitness, getting healthy and everything like that. And you talked about our whole point of the question is that you wanted to be a therapist. And I think that as a trainer and as a like cosmetologist, we kind of do a little bit of therapy for people.
It's the same thing but different aspects.
Because I know when people come into the gym, for me, they come in and if they had a bad day, they pretty much are venting about their day to me, or we're getting some frustration out in the workout. And then for you, people are coming in and wanting to feel good, and the whole time they're probably talking to you.
Oh yeah.
But you're probably like, I'm trying to do your lips. Can you stop for a second?
One second. Hang on, let me get your eyeliner. Okay, what got you into jiu-jitsu?
So like I said earlier, with all the different things that I used to do growing up, like all of the, I'll say quote unquote, girlier things to do just never stuck with me. I know that you cheerleaded for a while, but cheerleading just wasn't it for me. Dance wasn't it for me. And then my mom finally made me go and take like a kickboxing class with her, but it was more like a cardio kickboxing class. You weren't actually like hitting anybody. And then the kickboxing instructor's husband was like the sensei at the school. So I started doing karate. And then from there, after I finished, I got my black belt in whatever karate form it was. Again, I was young. I was like maybe 10 years old. And then I started just doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So when I was a kid, I did it. And when I was a kid, I competed and I really enjoyed it. And then I played field hockey all through high school, all through college. And when I got out of college, I wanted to get back into competing.
Yeah.
I've always been a competitive person. I've always been an athlete. So I was like, what do I love to do that I can get back into athletics? Because field hockey wasn't a thing anymore. And then I went back to jiu-jitsu. One of my friends recommended Silver Fox for me, and I've been there for going on 6 years now. I have my brown belt and back competing again.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like going back to it.
One of my really good friends actually is a 2nd degree black belt in karate, and like me and her were like inseparable like growing up. So I'd always go to any like testing she'd have for like any next level, and I give you guys a lot of credit. Like I would just see, even just like mentally and all that, like you really learn a lot on like what like you guys can do. And I also think it's so badass to have like a girl that can like completely defend herself and like beat you up if she really wanted to.
That's always like the thing, is like as soon as people meet you and they're like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu, it's like, can you beat me up? And I'm like, why is it always like the coach?
I mean, that's what I think of.
All right, so staying on kind of the sports aspects for you, even though you are like the beauty side of us, we still have the commonalities of being active and things like that. So what is your favorite sport to watch and or sporting event to go see live?
Okay, I obviously like to watch cheerleading. I don't know if you guys see the Netflix show Cheer. I feel like it really gives a lot of people like a new perspective on what cheering is. Like football cheering to me is just fun. Like that's just like, yeah, I agree. That's not really a sport. When you get into competitive cheering, like the blood, sweat, and tears that goes on that mat to like get that 2 minutes and 30-second routine is just insane. So like I love that series. Like I finished it in a day. I like that. I actually like to watch a lot of MMA. Like I think it's so awesome. Me and my dad will sit there, I'm like, oh my god, no way. Like a lot of people think like I'm so girly and like whatever. Like I love watching that. Like I'll watch like races, anything with cars. I also really like to watch the PBR. If you guys don't know what that is, it's professional bull riding. I really belong down south. Love me Cowboys. I went to an event once and I got some great stories about that. But it was really fun, and I think it's like so cool. Like I honestly, like growing up, like I've always like every time I go on vacation, I'm like, I need to go horseback riding. Like all like my whole life. So like that kind of got me into like Western and all that, and I used to go to like rodeos. I don't even know where we used to go like find a rodeo, but I would like make it a point to make my mom take me like anywhere. So I went to a couple of like rodeos or like all that, and like I just thought it was awesome. Like a lot of people think like they're torturing bulls and stuff, but it's just like to them like that's like their hobbies, and it's just so like crazy. Like honestly, if you guys catch me at a bar with a mechanical bull, like
Courtney's on that bull.
I am on. Honestly, it's so funny because people think like I can't do it, but like I ride horses, it's all on your legs. Like so one time I went to a bar and they had a mechanical bull, and I saw everybody like getting thrown off and like whatever, like these girls really thought they had it, and I was just like, all right, should I do it? Should I do it? All right, I'm gonna go do it. And I feel like guys are like, when guys go on a mechanical bull, like they just want you off. When girls, they're like, all right, let's go slow. So I was on and I was like sitting there and I'm like, all right, come on, we can go a little bit faster. Like you're kidding me, like you're being a little baby. And like they went really fast to a point where I got off. I was on for a long time. I get off and the bartenders and people were all clapping around me and they're like, you killed that. I'm like, I ride horses, so.
Fun fact about Courtney, guys, is Courtney travels from bar to hold the bull riding record at every bar at
Pretty much.
bull riding.
If you guys want to, if anybody wants to compete against me, let's go. I'll make it a tournament. I'm ready. Is it your turn or is it my turn to ask a question?
You
just asked a question.
What
Okay.
Like to watch.
What has been your go-to workouts teaching during quarantine and for you to do on quarantine, like at home?
During quarantine, it's definitely been interesting. I've been teaching some Zoom classes like here and there. Tuesdays I've been sticking with like lower body with people. Thursdays I've been upper body. Saturdays have been more of like a cardio base and a core base. But there's not really like a go-to workout, I'd say, per se for it. It's just, again, a lot of the time it's the same women coming on, so it's nice to see that everybody's like progressing. So again, as a trainer and as somebody that likes to program design and keep people developing, it's good to stick to basic things as you're going on. So I'm still sticking to bases of like lunges and deadlifts and squats, and then utilizing like at home things with like towels, and just trying not to get, again, too out of the box Instagram-y, because that's just not my training style. But it's nice to see that the women are staying consistent, and every week now when I see them, it's just, we go to an exercise that we've done in the past where I've had to like cue people a lot, and now like they don't even need me anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's really nice to see. Like a lot of time people are like, oh, well, as a trainer, don't you want people to always like need you? And in the end of the day, it's
You just
educating people.
Yeah, you
So
just want them to like know what they're doing.
Right, and
just,
then you feel better about yourself, and then you're performing everything correctly, and it's good. It's, again, as a trainer, I like to be more of like an educator than just like an hourly trainer. So like when they leave, I expect people to keep coming back and learning how every exercise should feel, so that they can do it on your own. Because so many people will work with a trainer, and then when they have to go in and work on their own, they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, I need my trainer. And some trainers like to keep you in that way, but at the end of the day, it's all about spreading knowledge and having people feel better about themselves and the confidence to be able to go into the gym and do this on their own.
I have to say, just like being around all you guys and like being a part of like this group, like there's some days where I wake up, I'm like, I don't feel like working out. And like, I'll just go on our Facebook group and like, there's just so much motivation. Like even like, I'll text you and be like, all right, can you just give me like an easy workout? Like I'm not really feeling good today. Like,
and it's
you
like,
know, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Like once you just start and like you have it in your mindset, you just like keep going. Like it's easy to just keep going with it. But like, honestly, like we just have such a good group of like motivation, and like everybody just keeps pushing you to just be the best person you can be and just get to your fitness goals, and it's great.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on in our speed dating, since you guys are getting to know us, what is an activity you've always wanted to try?
Guys, I really want to race an exotic car. Like, honestly, I feel like people don't realize, like, everyone just thinks I'm so girly, like, which I am, but honestly, like, I could be a tomboy, too. Like, I like to go hiking, like, camping, like, I grew up camping, and me and my dad, like, love cars, motorcycles. I actually want to get my motorcycle license and all that, but yeah, I really want to race an exotic car, preferably a Ferrari.
Okay.
Yeah.
What color is it going to be, Court?
Oh, whatever. Just want to get in it.
It's going to be a red
drive.
one with black details.
I just want to race.
I'm
That's
gonna
it.
match with it. All right. Moving along in the speed date.
What are your favorite supplements and protein drinks?
Okay. So with this, a lot of people ask me about supplements. And the biggest thing about supplements, again, we'll have an entire episode about this probably, is that supplements are to literally what they're called, supplement for other things. So when it comes to protein drinks, I do have protein, and every now and then if I'm running around, like I will have a protein shake. The guys, I forget, what do the guys call when they put the protein in the mess something? I just call it a blob. But no, that's different.
Oh, I'm like, see, like I said, I don't even know.
Guys, go watch their podcast to figure out what we're talking about.
Yes.
But with protein, I like to just eat my protein. So again, the supplement is if I can't get to my meal right away, or if I have a client, or if I'm coming over here, or things like that, then yeah, I'll like get a protein drink in, put things in there. But ultimately, the only supplement that I really take is BCAAs.
Okay.
And it's not even like I'm trying to like, hey guys, FTPL, but that's literally all that I really...
They are honestly really good.
Yeah, it's all that I really intake because I think it's good for when I'm working out, especially if I haven't gotten into that next meal yet, and I know I have a heavy lift coming, and I just need that little bit of something to be able to make me like not lightheaded during my lift. Just drinking my BCAAs, and again, not to be like, hey guys, buy the BCAAs. It really does help me get through that workout when I just don't have the energy like in my head. You know when you like go to work out and in your head you're just like, I'm probably gonna pass out after my first set.
That's me like 90% of the time. I mean,
no, but I will drink my BCAAs during my workout, and they really help me get through my workout when I really am just not feeling like I can lift anything correctly that day.
Do you know what I actually do with the BCAAs? Again, I'm not even trying to be like that either, but I get bad hangovers. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
And I put, my favorite drink is vodka and Sprite. I put a little bit of BCAAs in it.
In your vodka Sprite?
Yes, because it's like peach ring, and I feel like it tastes really good. Honestly, I had no hangover. I had no hangover the next day. It was
great. When you put it in it.
Yeah.
Now, did you put it in like a water before you went to bed, or you were like, no, just the vodka and BCAAs is where we're going today?
This is where we're going that day. That's it. Beautiful. Just get like a little pad, like bring it with me everywhere I go, and just pour it in there, so I have no hangover.
You're like, guys, I
and Pedialyte. I like Pedialyte. I'll do that with my water, but
guys, I need more BCAAs. Court, we haven't been seeing you working out.
I've been getting them in a different form, but I've been getting them with my vodka. Killing two birds in one stone.
What are we on to? I just asked you what?
I just asked you about the supplements.
Oh. And that's my... Okay. What is something that people wouldn't expect you to be able to do?
I'm really good at go-karting.
What is it? What does that mean? Like, are you going in the woods, or
no,
are
like,
you on like a
racetrack? A racetrack, like, you know, like Palisades Park Mall has like go-karting, or like Jersey City.
Guys, again, besides going to the bar and seeing Courtney,
come see me on a go-kart track, please.
Now you have another challenge from Courtney. Go see her at the bars on the bowl with her BCAAs and her vodka drinks. But then also hit her up at the Palisades, find her on the slick track.
So, funny story, when I was younger, like I said, like I'm like my like dad's daughter, like I love motorcycles, cars, like all that. Like my sister, like no, she doesn't even like flinch twice. Like if I hear like a nice exhaust, I'll whip my head. I'm like, all right, what kind of car is that? Like, you know, I'll look at like Harleys and all that. But yeah, like when I go camping in Ocean City, Maryland, they have like this go-karting track, and you get like 2-hour wristbands. And since I was even tall enough and old enough to go on them, like my dad taught me how to like spin people out and like, you know.
Never mind, guys. Don't put Courtney on the tracks. She's gonna spin you out.
I'm pretty rough when we go on the tracks. Like I'll like go behind someone and I'll like turn my wheel and I spin them out and I'll go around them. This one time, there's this like one guy in Ocean City, I remember, he like thought he was like gonna beat us all, and he was like ready for this, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let this go. Literally, as soon as we went out, I spun him out so bad, and then my dad was right behind me and just T-boned him, and he got off the track. He literally like turned in his wristband. He was like, I'm done. I don't even want to go.
He was like, I have whiplash. It was the girl with the eyelashes and the bandana.
Mind you, I was 12. So can you imagine now how good I am? So yeah, I love go-karting.
There's her hidden talent, guys. Don't get spin out by Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
That was you.
Oh, that's my turn. Okay, have you had any injuries?
Yes.
I'm sure with all the sports that you've played, for sure.
So I will knock on wood, even though we don't have wood around us. I've never actually broken a bone per se. I've never had any surgery. Again, knock on wood, thank God. But I've definitely had like the typical like ankle sprains and wrist sprains and things like that. But my most major injury, I had 2 herniated discs in my neck about 2 years ago. And that was probably my biggest injury I've had for sure. One herniated to the left, one herniated to the right. There was no immediate cause of it, I don't think. There are times where I think I know when it happened, but I have no idea. And that took a big hit out of everything that I was doing at the time. At the time, I was in my, like, I won't say prime of competing, but I was competing pretty much like every other month in jiu-jitsu. I was a blue belt at the time, and then I just got promoted to my purple belt, and then like 2 months later, I went upstairs. I was at Ferraro's, and he had me go get an MRI, and I had the 2 herniations, and then he pretty much, I did a bunch of decompression upstairs, but while I was getting my treatments, I wasn't allowed to train, and I wasn't allowed to back squat, I wasn't allowed to deadlift, I wasn't allowed to push anything above my head. So for somebody like me who, all of my outlets in my career, like I'm a trainer, so not being able to show clients exercises properly,
that's hard,
and not being able to go and train jiu-jitsu, and at the time I was also working at my academy, so I was just sitting behind the desk watching everybody train, and I had just hit like a new PR deadlifting. I was pulling like 270, and then they were like, you can't deadlift anymore. I'm like, but I wanted 300 pounds. And they're like, sorry. So now I just started deadlifting again in the past year, and I'm back down into like the mid hundreds, and I'm like, okay. But I think that was my biggest injury, definitely, was my 2 herniated discs in my neck. It's getting better, but I'm not where I was, and again, as a competitive person for myself,
it's hard to like set back,
And then with jiu-jitsu, since I was out for so long and then I had to gradually come back, I just went from competing every other month to now you're not training at all, to now you're only drilling twice a week, to now you're only rolling twice a week. And I finally, starting last summer, got like back into it, and I competed for the first time as a purple belt back in December. And then I got my brown belt, and I was supposed to compete in March, and then boom, quarantine.
Oh,
so
man.
That's always been taking it out. But yeah, that neck injury definitely did a doozy on me.
Wow.
All right, let's get back into you and kind of how you came about. Who has been the most influential person or people to you?
I have to say I look up to a lot of like celebrities for inspiration. Okay. Like I feel like Christina Aguilera has always been my inspiration, and Cher. I know you like Cher, and I know you're excited for me to say that. Cher actually inspired me about like beauty, because I used to go to her concerts when I was like younger, and I actually went to 2 this year and last year. I like obsessed with her, but I love that she would change her wigs for like every song, so it's like you're getting like a different woman like all the time, and like a different person, and like that always inspired me. Like, okay, like if people know me, like I've changed my hair. I've had every hair color. I've had blonde, I've had orange, I've had like every hair color. I even had pink, like
That's
so
usually
like
what happens with you guys. My sister has done the same thing.
And I just like love being able to like, you know, like change your looks up and like all that. So like she really inspired me too, and she's just such a badass. Like she is like, I need nobody but myself.
She's
and
how old now? And have you seen her at her like one of her last performances? She has more abs than like a 15-year-old boy going through puberty at that time.
Christina Aguilera too, like all of her songs, like no matter what mood I'm in, if I'm sad, happy, like anything, like she has a song that has inspired me, and she's very just like, you know, like be true to who you are, and like, you know, we're always constantly growing, and like each phase of your life you're going to be a different person. Like if you asked me like 5 years ago I'd be where I am today, I'd be like, I'm going to be talking on a podcast, like okay, no way,
absolutely not,
absolutely not. I used to be so shy, like no way. Now like if you get like comfortable with me, like there's no getting me to stop talking.
I know, we were just talking about this the other day, that we both, if you talk to any of our friends, we don't stop talking.
If I'm not talking, there's a problem.
But we're also, as we learned today, how long it started to get this going, super awkward when it came to being on camera. And we just did a shoot beforehand, just taking pictures to like do like promotional things, and I can take all the fitness photos in the world, and as soon as you put me in makeup, number one, and then two, in front of a camera with like lights, I'm just like, I'm awkward, I have no idea what I'm doing. My face is, I think I'm doing one face, and then it's not the face at all, and I thought I did a great job. And like,
meanwhile, I'm like, okay, give me the camera.
Courtney's like, here.
For fitness ones, I'm like, okay, that's where you shine right there, girl. All right, my turn.
We just talked about Sharon Christina Aguilera.
Love her. What's your beauty routine? I just found out what winged eyeliner is.
So, yeah, a beauty routine. As we talked about earlier, I really don't know terminology, so
I wash my face with a towel with some stuff. I can send you a picture.
But beauty routine for me is like very basic. I asked Courtney earlier, because again, she glammed me up for this today. If, as we go on, I'm sure that you guys are just going to see me more and more naturally, which is totally fine. That's just how I am. But beauty routine wise, I'm super basic. I asked Courtney today if I needed to bring my own makeup or she was going to bring her makeup.
I was like, I told you I'm going to do your makeup, so that requires me bringing my own.
So she brought that, and my makeup is literally, I know where I got my makeup case from. It's actually a pencil case that I got from Barnes & Noble's. It has a Barnes & Noble's patch on it.
Yeah.
And I think the front of it says, intelligence will always be beautiful. And I was like, I love that. I'm going to put my makeup in it, even though it's
Meanwhile,
a pencil case.
my pencil case is just lip glosses, like, alone.
So I have mascara. Couldn't tell you what type, what brand, what it is. I have eyeliner, waterproof, which, again, I don't know what it is. I have a very basic... I don't know what it's called.
Routine, yeah.
Foundation that goes across my face. I think I have two different...
This will be me when we talk about fitness. I'm going to be like, what is that?
I think I have two different colors because I got it wrong when I got it the first time. And then I have a bronzer that I don't really use because I probably use it incorrectly. So that's my beauty routine, guys, is... Sometimes I'll have mascara on. If I go out, I will have eyeliner on, but I don't wear eyeliner during the week. And that's pretty much my beauty routine.
Love it. I love it so much.
My hair beauty routine consists of showering and washing my hair. I shower today, but washing my hair is probably once or twice a week.
Oh, wow.
And
I
it's
wish.
up in a bun or a ponytail.
See, I've been rocking these bandanas lately, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm like, really? Just, It's very easy.
So, this is one of my favorite questions. For a lot of times during this podcast, we're not really going to be talking about guys and gossipy too much. We're trying to try to stay to our beauty and our fitness, but we will definitely hit some episodes that are going to be fun about dating and gym crushes and etiquette about going up to somebody in a gym. Now, when it comes to your preference, beards or a clean-cut guy catches your eye?
I like a clean cut.
No.
We're just complete opposites over here.
Me and Courtney could go out and not worrying about competing over a guy because we have totally different types of guys. But go on.
We do. I don't know. I just like a clean cut. I mean, there's nothing wrong with beards either, but that's just me. I mean, I like preferably like baby face too.
Baby face? No.
I guess you could say I like pretty boys.
Well, it fits. Again, you like, I feel the whole thing is however you are is what you're trying to attract and vice versa. And again, going back to the why we're here for you guys is you may be stuck in like one way, but you're like, why am I only attracting this type of person?
Yeah. I don't like a guy though that takes longer to get ready than me. Like I like
Is that possible?
Yes, for sure.
Have you dated somebody
I have
that
not.
takes longer than you?
I haven't, but I know some people that take a very long time to get ready. And I'm like, I did full contouring, full glam, did my hair. How are you still not ready?
Okay. That wouldn't be for me either. Especially because I don't my glam routine you've heard.
I can, it depends on the occasion. Like I could do it in 10 minutes or I could be like an hour, honestly. All right, next question for you. What's your favorite memory you had while playing any sports? Which you already named a lot, so
I mean, sports.
What's like one that like really sticks out for you?
So I don't want to have like the Miss America answer and seem like it's so not about me, it's about everybody else. But when I'm thinking about my favorite memories, it has nothing to do with really like me. Like I've scored goals in field hockey, I've won tournaments in jiu-jitsu and so on and so forth. But I think my favorite memory, I was just thinking about this earlier, was my last tournament that I competed in was back in December, and some of my students, so like I said, I worked at the academy and I was a youth coach there. So I teach kids from like 4 years old up until like 12-ish years old how to do jiu-jitsu. And my favorite kids are like my little tiny nuggets. Aww. Who are just like too cute for their own good. And when I was at my last tournament, a few of them came to watch me and to watch other people. And I remember his name, I'll just say his name, it doesn't matter. Little Jack was there. And he's this tiny little, like I'm short, but Jack is like up to my hip. Mm-hmm. And he's just always smiling, he's always super cute. And I had already done my gi division, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to do. So then I was ready for no gi. And Jack comes over, we're watching other matches. I'm like standing by the mat that I'm about to compete on. And Jack's holding on to the thing, and he looks up at me and he's like, "Coach?" I'm like, "What's up, Jack?" And he's just like, "Can you win this next one?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." Oh my. I was like, I'm gonna try very hard to win this next one. So then he just like stood there the whole time, totally got me out of any sort of down mood about my like
because you were thinking about trying to inspire him, and
right.
You know,
and he was there. His sisters, his whole family does. I train with his dad. His sisters train too. So it's always nice to have people there that you're trying to inspire as well. And just him asking me like nonchalantly, like it was no big deal that like this other girl was trying to choke me out or like tap me out. Could you just win? Oh, I got it, Jack, no problem. So I ended up winning my no-gi division, and with him just hanging out there the whole time, just being like, "Coach," like as I'm walking onto the mat, "Coach Jess," I'm like, "Jack, I gotta get on the mat now, but I'll be right back." So I think that, to be honestly, is like my favorite memory from competing so far, just because, again, not to
it kind of took the pressure off of you to like think like, okay, like he's really looking up to me, and he, you know, like let me just not think about what I'm actually gonna do, and that really does help. Like there's been times even cheering too where like I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to do this tumbling pass," like, oh god, like I can't. Right. As soon as I stop thinking about it, I'm like, you know what you're doing, like you got this.
Right. And that leads us into our next question.
Oh, okay.
What was your favorite thing about being a cheerleader?
All right. I feel like a lot of people have stereotypes on cheerleaders and think we're like ditzy and, you know, like all of the stereotypes that go along with it. But I have to say, like, honestly, just like a part of being a team and like stunting was like my favorite. Like being able to like master like a new stunt, like we would be like, our coaches would be like, "All right, you're gonna like twist her up in the air, catch her, like down, like bench press her." Like honestly, like you bench press weights, I would bench press people.
Bench presser.
Like yeah, like that would be our workouts. Like we would never work out with weights, we'd work out with people. So it was a stunt group, and we would like, our conditioning would be like, "Hey, like you're gonna hold her in the air for a minute, and then now you're gonna bench press her down, and then you're gonna push her back up," and like we'd literally bring them down to the ground, like push back. Like
So were you doing this or are you doing this?
No, it's overhead.
Okay, so you were overhead pressing, you weren't bench pressing.
Okay.
But that's why we're here to learn. That's what we talked about.
I don't know.
I don't know what contour is, like, and you don't know what bench press is. Okay.
So bench press and cheering though would be
that's
called? Pretty, like, I mean.
So were you...
I'm like, so you guys can't even see my movements besides this video, and I'm just like here.
We're moving our arms up and down or in or out.
But yeah, I would say like just.
So were you only a tumbler or were you a flyer? Like, what are you doing?
So my freshman year of high school, they tried to get me to fly. I will admit I was not the best flyer. I would get scared. Like I was able to do some things, like I could do like tosses where they would just like throw you up in the air, you know, like toe touch. But I like really liked my feet on the ground. So, and even like when I was younger, I was doing competitive cheering since 4th grade. So like I would here and there do it. But I found a better love for being a base, and I actually had a great base with me. Her name is Allie, and I love her. To this day, we always talk about like cheering and like all that, but me and her, we would just like motivate each other. Like she was like the beast, and I was just like, I was there. I was just like, yeah, you got this. You're really holding this. I'm just like she was the main, so like I was the side. So she did a lot of more of like the throwing and like all that when it came to like. I can't really it's like, I'm like trying to show with my hands. But yeah, so I just feel like I like just the like being a part of a team, and like, you know, even if like you win or lose, like you still have to like have a smile on your face. And like my coaches like really taught me like no matter what, like you walk into anything with like full confidence, like you have this, like no matter what. And we'd walk into every competition, like, and people knew Saddlebrook, like we were really known, like we were really good. We're actually, the team is still amazing. Like it's gotten so, if you put me in cheering now, I don't think I could do it, honestly. But they're amazing. But yeah, we would walk in with our head high, not be cocky, but just have a smile, say hi to all the other cheerleaders, because you know how girls can be. They can be very catty, and like, you know, if like you don't automatically don't like a team, you don't want them to win, you're gonna give them dirty looks. We would just, hey, how are you guys? Like, and I really learned so many lessons, like life lessons that I brought like into even like my industry, and just like not trying to tear anybody else down. Like you're part of a team, and like you're being a cheerleader, like you have to have a smile no matter what you're going through. When you're on that mat, whatever is happening is out the window. Tumbling too, I did like tumbling. It took me a while. Actually, funny story. I really wanted to get my belly button pierced, and my dad did not want it. And I was in gymnastics since like however long I've been cheering, 4th grade. Could not do a back handspring. I did it once, 7th grade, fell on my face, didn't want to do it again. So freshman year, I was like, Dad, I want to get my belly button pierced. And like I was 16, so they had to like sign for it. And he's like, all right, you want to get it done? You have to throw a back handspring, because he knew. He knew I didn't want it. I was like, okay. That night, went to gymnastics, got a back handspring, and then after that, like I didn't do anything like crazy. Like my biggest pass was like a double back handspring to a tuck, and probably why I have a lot of injuries now, and I'm in physical therapy pretty often because of it. But yeah, I just getting a new skill. I mean, like you getting a new PR goal, right?
This terminology, we're gonna get this, guys.
Just like, you know, it was just like awesome to like watch a video or be like, all right, like this is what we're gonna do, and like nailing it. And like in competition, like you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to nail everything, and that feeling and adrenaline rush, like being in front of thousands of people and like the gym going silent while you're yelling and performing, it was like the best thing of my life, and I miss it so much.
Yeah, I was a cheerleader when I think was 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And I was a tiny little runt, and they made me a flyer, which was fine, but I remember one practice, and then after this, I was like, I'm just done with cheerleading. After one practice, the girl, when you cradle?
Yeah.
And then a girl like took a step in, and I ended up kicking her in the head, and then they fell, and then they wouldn't let me cradle anymore. So then I had to be that awkward person at competition that like grabbed the person's hands and like brought me back down. And then I just wasn't about it after that. It was my life.
There's a lot of injuries that go into cheering. I got kicked in the head. I had a concussion. I actually split my lip open at cheer camp. I was in 5th grade. Got a concussion. Did not remember anything. And I remember like finally coming to, and everyone like coming up to me like, oh my God, how are you feeling today? I'm like, what do you mean, how am I feeling today? What's wrong with me? And they're like, oh, you didn't know. And like my whole side of my face was scabbed because I fell from a shoulder sit, went forward instead of going backwards. And my parents had to come from vacation to get me at cheer camp. They're like, do you want, like, are you feeling okay? I'm like, no, I want to stay here. And I couldn't do anything. I just like, I want to be around here. I'm like, if I have a concussion, just like, they did all the precautions and all that, but I like split my lip open really bad. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot. And even when I was I want to say senior in high school, I did a back handspring the wrong way, and I could not walk for like a couple weeks. I like threw my patella off a little bit. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I had my sister's bachelorette party that weekend. I was hobbling around.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
And we're moving.
Yeah.
So pretty much, guys, going on speed dating with me and Courtney really isn't speed dating. It's kind of like we're gonna tell you every detail of whatever question, and then keep talking about whatever we want to talk about, even if you don't care to hear it anymore. But what we really want to get into is really just talking to you guys about why me and Courtney got together. I know we've talked about it a little earlier during our speed dating, but why we're here, what we think we're going to bring to the table for you guys, and just kind of like our mission statement. So you met the girls, and now here's our mission.
And we're back.
So we talked earlier about how we're the female branch, let's say, of the No Windy Sleeves. So in the No Windy Sleeves, you're going to hear the guys talk about, 1% better every day, 1% better every day. Now, since they're more of a fitness-driven side and motivational side, you think 1% better every day is just about like your physique or just about physical fitness and things like that, like goals, gains, blah, blah, blah. But with me and Courtney being here, we're brought on because we're trying to give a different spin. We all know that every now and then you need a female touch.
For sure.
Just to bring things to the next level.
For sure.
Guys. So Courtney with her beauty, it's not just about beauty. Courtney is business. She owns her own business. Courtney's marketing. Courtney is everything involved with that side
She's
of it.
the boss babe of Flow Commando.
Just
no big
owns
deal.
her own thing. That's just Courtney. And then again,
I figured it out.
And then on my side, being a coach, again, I coach field hockey, I coach jiu-jitsu, I'm an athletic trainer, that's what my degree is in. So I went to school, got my degree in athletic training, then afterwards I was, hate to say, super bored doing it, so then I decided just to get my personal training certification, and then again, been doing this for 6 years, so however many other certifications I have along with it. So that's kind of our backgrounds of why you guys should be able to take advice from us, but the why we want you guys to be listening to us is kind of what we're going to touch on now. I know we both have kind of similar mission statements for this, but Court's going to kind of talk about why she thinks that this whole beauty gains things is going to be relevant to you guys.
I mean, I'm going into this industry, like I said earlier, I just like to make people feel good about themselves. And everybody, I always feel my best self when I know I'm working out, and you know, when I have a spray tan on, or when I have like makeup on. But it's not all just about that. It's also just like coming down to like, you know, like finding like true beauty in yourself. And what we really want to do is just bringing out like your inner glow and really just like finding beauty within. Like I always say, like my favorite like quote, like I don't even know if I found this from somewhere, I think I've like taken it. I always say like beauty lies within the soul. Like you need to feel confident with yourself when you look in the mirror, and I feel like it all comes down to fitness, and then like how else too, like, you know, beauty. Like there's like my sister doesn't really glam herself up, and I feel like that's why she has me. Like I'll teach her like quick like routine looks for like her date night with her husband, and you know, she's a mom of 2, and like I feel like once women become moms, they're like, all right, well I want to get back to like losing weight and, you know, just like looking good, and like even just beauty routines for moms. Like I want it to be for everybody. Like you don't have to be a makeup artist like me or a hairstylist. Like we want everybody, or even into fitness as much as her. Like I'm not into fitness as much as her. Like I probably work out like 3 times a week, if that, like if that, you know, like I mean, any excuse I have to not work out, sure. The only workout I've been getting is my wine.
She comes in to do leg days just so that she can ride that mechanical bow.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, we just really want to make everybody just truly find like what's beautiful about themselves, and just like, you know, relating into our lives. Like she said, like I'm an entrepreneur. Like I didn't go to college, like I said, and I figured it out. Like it took a lot of lessons, like some tears in there. Like, you know, I almost gave up a couple times, and you know, I really just stayed motivated. And I feel like a lot of people see the glam side of me, and I want you guys to see more of like the personal side of me, right, and get to know me.
And I think that's a big thing that since we've been putting out like, oh, we're about to talk, guys, we're about to record, guys, like tune in, stay in, but you guys don't see how often me and Courtney are talking to each other about like so many ideas that we have for you guys. So again, we're trying not to this episode just keep talking, because if you haven't noticed, we can just talk.
We can talk.
And with that, being able to reach out to multiple different levels of people, like Courtney said, people that aren't really into makeup, and people that are fully into makeup, or people that kind of just want to be healthy, or kind of just feel better and move around better, or people that are going into like CrossFit games. Every single walk of life is what we're trying to help out here. So I was saying the other day, it's not us trying to tell you how to live your life, but it's more or less us wanting to be able to help you guys live the life that you see for yourself. Yeah. So we find
it's possible. Like,
yeah. And we find, we were talking the other day, we find that so many people are like, feel like they can't fully be themselves and be accepted. So being pretty but not being too pretty, or then you get all the stereotypes and then you feel insecure. So even if some people are out there and they're like, I really do like how Courtney does her makeup, I really want to learn that, but I feel like it would look dumb on me, or people don't expect me to look like that. So even as we're joking around about how I don't really have a beauty routine, I do like to get dressed up. I do like to get my hair done. Am I the best at it? Absolutely not. But my sister is also a cosmetologist like Courtney, so I've been blessed that I can just go to my sister and be like, hey, can you blow out my hair for me? Yeah. Hey, can you put on makeup for me? So it's not about what we do, and it's not about following in our footsteps. We're gonna give you guys every single type of advice and help that we can. So even though like we have our topics and we have our guests, we're gonna have a slew of guests on here, a bunch of especially women from different walks of life, different professions, moms, professional fighters, business women, and all over the ball game, just because we want to be able to help as many people as we can. And I think we were talking about this the other day, having any sort of social media platform, if it's only used for likes and things like that, there's no substance.
You're not reaching your full potential. Right. There's times where I even like talk to my friends who have big platforms, and I'm like, you know what? Like, you have a platform for a reason. Like, I'm a very godly woman, so I'm like, God gave you this for a reason. Like, use it. And actually, right before we decided to do this podcast, I was just saying to my friend Nicole, who literally, like, if me and her weren't in each other's lives, like, I don't even know where we'd be. But like, she actually glammed me up today. That's my go-to girl who teaches me everything I know. And like, I was saying, I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like I'm put here for more than just beauty. And really, I'm a hairstylist, makeup artist, and I do spray tanning. Like, I mean, it doesn't get more beauty industry than that. And I told her, it's like, I feel like I'm meant to have a voice and, you know, use my voice and things that I've learned, things I've struggled with, and really share it with people. So that's really why I want to do this. And then you mentioned to bring me into this, because I think it all started with Tut coming to you.
Yeah. So how it all started, how we got Court involved here, is me and Court have been involved in like FTPL, and we both have gone upstairs to Ferraro for physical therapy, and
we'd always like walk past each other like, hey, how are you? Like, we knew each other like off of Instagram, like never actually like talked, and like.
But then Tut approached me about doing this female branch of No Indie Sleeves, and we were kind of brainstorming as to who to bring on, who would be a good asset to everything. And again, I can sit here all day long and talk fitness, so we really didn't want to just hone in on fitness only, because the boys are doing that, a lot of that, and we do, like we said, the female touch is always something additive. So even though we are going to be talking about like females and things like that, we're still going to hit you guys with some advice for the guys and bring on male guests as well. But when I was talking to Tut about who to bring on, Courtney popped into my head, because what better way to reach more people and help more people than bring two people together that have literally no idea about the other person's topic.
And it's amazing.
Right. So beauty, fitness, all of this stuff, whatever you guys want from us, we don't just have to stay on beauty and fitness. Like, we plan on talking about different things like mental health. We plan on talking about like bullying and insecurities and misconceptions and all of these like mental health things as well, because like we keep saying, the 1% better is just not about a physical thing. It's about how
you feel inside.
Right. So right now, like with me with all this makeup on, like I know that I probably look better, but putting makeup on me doesn't make me, like, let's say, more confident. Like when I'm in the gym, like that's when I'm most confident. When I just have like my messy bun up and thing, like that's how I thrive. Like this is on again, like I like to put makeup on, I like to get done up when I'm going out, but by no means are we telling you that like you have to put on glam in order to feel better about yourself.
Yeah, it really starts within. Like I'm full, like I love everything beauty, and I could feel just the same in sweatpants while I'm marinating in my spray tanning. And as I do with the full face of glam like this, it's not about the makeup, because at the end of the day, it's what's inside of you.
Right.
And that's what we really want to come together and just really help everybody get that 1% better.
Yeah. And with, like, talking about earlier, I just stated before that some people are like, oh, you could be pretty but not too pretty, because then you get misconceptions against it. It's across the board for everything else, too. So a lot of females are like, oh, I want to get into shape, but I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to be too strong because then you're too manly. We all get these ideas put in our head, especially now with all of this social media going on, that you can't be too pretty or you're just a face. You can't be too strong or you're too manly and then you're not attractive to people, blah, blah, blah. You can be smart, but you can't be too smart because then you're annoying and you're a Karen. And it's just like all of these things that are getting drilled into females, and not just females' heads, everybody's heads. Nowadays, it's just a lot to take in, and it's a lot to truly be yourself anymore and to be able to walk around confidently. And that's one of our goals, is just to let you know that whatever you want to do is what you should do. Whatever makes you happy is where you should be going with your life. It's not constantly seeking affirmation. Yeah. It's not constantly seeking just money, because at the end of the day, that's never going to keep you happy. You're just going to be on this long journey of happiness that's getting filled in the wrong way. So we spoke about earlier with like your clean cut guys, and I'm into bearded guys and things like that. You are what you attract. So if you go out there and you are just so fully confident in whatever you're doing, people are attracted to confidence more than they are like a physique. Yeah. And again, this is going to be one of our topics later on, is to actually why people are attracted to physiques, or why people are attracted to clean cut versus beard people. Again, all these episodes that we can get into. But at the end of the day, we're just here to help you guys out in whatever you need from us. So besides all of our topics, if you guys want to DM either of us or message No Windy Sleeves, message Beauty Gains, or we'll put our handles at the end. But let us know what you want us to talk about, because we want you guys constantly coming back in here, feeling better about yourself, feeling confident, and just knowing that you're not by yourself. Even though Courtney's glam, she still likes fucking go-karting and putting people off the side of the road. Even though I'm into fitness, I still like going out and dancing and putting on makeup every now and then. Like, there's always a balance, and you don't have to feel pressured as to, well, if I want to be pretty, I can't be strong. Or if I'm going to be strong, I can't be pretty. If I'm going to be smart, I can't be pretty or strong, because I just have to... It's literally whatever you want to do. Yeah.
And going off of that too, I also feel like a lot of people like think too much about what other people think. And like I said earlier, like if you caught me 5 years ago, I would never say I was doing this. And it really takes like for you to mentally like be like, you know what? There's always going to be somebody who's going to make fun of you. There's always going to be people that look up to you. There's always going to be people that want to bring you down. And there's going to be a lot of people that you're inspiring. And that's really why we wanted to start this, because at the end of the day, it's not only about like, you know, like getting out there and like getting known. Like as long as we're inspiring just one person weekly, like, yeah, that's it.
I had a conversation with one of my friends, I think maybe like a month or so ago, about social platforms. They were really upset about like a comment that somebody had left on their posts, and they're like, I'm going to take it down. I don't even think I'm going to post anymore. And then they got another post from a little girl like a few minutes later, and it was like the little girl just following what she was doing. Yeah. And we had this big talk about how platforms and social medias are amazing things, but with the negative people that you're going to get, especially when you get more and more people watching you, just being able to influence one person, changing one person's mood, changing one person's day, and that person might not like what you listen to tomorrow, but the next day again, you're inspiring them to go back to something else. And it's just about helping a small percentage of people as like best as you can.
Yeah.
So if you're on social media and you're getting upset about, again, one negative comment out of 100 comments that you're getting, or you're getting one person that unfollows you a day and you take it to heart, it's just like, you don't know how many people you're actually affecting.
And you also don't know what people truly go through. And I always say, when I give advice to people, I go, what you don't like in others is what you really don't like in yourself.
Right.
So like there's some people that unfollow me daily. I mean, it is what it is. Am I going to get upset every day because somebody unfollows me or something? Like, no, because I know that there's some people that are really looking up to like things that I do and like look at me for inspiration. Like I always think that I could be better, and like, you know, it's really just becoming like a better version of yourself every day. And I also just feel like there's people that like look at me and are like, oh, another selfie that she's posting, or there's some people that are like, wow, like she's doing another thing, and like those people that are looking at my things in a negative way, like they don't matter. Like, why? I don't need them in my life. Like, you look at all the positive people, and that's why we really wanted to get together. And like, even like just like since we started talking, like we've just been constantly like motivating each other, like we're gonna do this. Like I was nervous yesterday, she's like, no, we got this, like you guys got this. And like,
and then we started taking pictures today, and then Courtney was like,
no,
I'm like,
you got this. But yeah, I
I
mean, we're super excited about this, and we just can't wait to keep it going.
Yeah. So, again, guys, we hope that we didn't put you to sleep too much with our speed dating get to know us and kind of what we're trying to go through. So you're going to have to bear with us for a while till we get used to talking into these microphones and used to all these things. But I think after this guy and we get into some content, it'll really hit home for a lot of people. And whatever you guys want from us, again, just shoot us a message, shoot any of the guys a message. But we have a lot of topics that we're super excited to talk about that we had to hold ourselves back from every time we stepped into it today.
A couple things almost slipped there.
But again, lots of guests, lots of questions that we're going to help answer.
And a big thank you to our sponsors, FT Performance Labs and Glow Commando.
For sure. I talked about a lot of FTPO during my supplements.
She uses them the right way, I use them
the vodka way. But either way, guys, thanks for tuning in and keep joining us in. We'll be here for y'all. However, so often, we haven't figured out how to start it or how to end it, so we're going to get better at that too. All right. Stop laughing at me. All right, guys. We're out of here. See you later.